you say if I told you I could get you reinstated as a flight officer? The company has already agreed to pick up your contract.
If I go.
Yeah, if you go. Come on, that's a second chance, kiddo. And I think personally for you it would be the best thing in the world to get out there and face this thing. Get back on the horse.
Spare me, Burke. I've had my psych evaluation this month.
I know. I've read it. You wake up every night, your sheets are soaking with sweat.
I said no, and I mean it.
When Ripley returned to civilization after decades in hypersleep, her stories of a deadly alien parasite that wiped out her entire crew, which led to the self-destruct of the Nostromo, mostly fell upon deaf ears. Her inquest, led by Interstellar Commerce Commission Chairman Van Leeuwen, was a disaster at best, and her actions brought upon severe penalties when it came to her career as a flight officer. The hearing transcript details Van Leeuwen's final say on the matter. It is the finding of this court of inquiry that Ward Officer E. Ripley, NOC 14472, has acted with questionable judgment and is unfit to hold an ICC license as a commercial flight officer. No criminal charges will be filed against you at this time, and you are released on your own recognizance for a 6-month period of psychometric probation, to include monthly review by an ICC psychiatric technician. These proceedings are closed. While omitted from the theatrical version of the film, Van Leeuwen's assessment can be seen in the special edition version of the film. The scene is expanded upon even further in the novel Alien River of Pain, revealing how Ripley felt in the moment. In truth, she even agreed with him, partly. She wasn't fit to fly. She woke up from fresh nightmares 2 mornings out of 3. That sense of dark, heavy dread was still inside her. Sometimes it threatened to pull her and everyone around her into its embrace. The story of Alien River of Pain accounts the events on Hadley's Hope that led to its xenomorph infestation, but it also takes a look at Ripley's life on Gateway Station during this time. The audible audio drama version specifically depicts the psychometric evaluations required by Ripley's probation. Not unlike the court of inquiry, Ripley's truth was met with skepticism. It was believed that she was delusional. Her last session was on June 15th, 2179, at the WEYLAND Psychometric Probation Offices, Gateway Station, Earth Orbit. Her technician and probation officer was convinced the unusually long hypersleep of 57 years affected Ripley's ability to distinguish reality from dreams. "Let's go back to Kane," he insisted. "The facehugger that attached itself to him. It seems to be one of the recurring features of your nightmares." "Yes, we've been over this," Ripley replied. "Would it help to talk about the creature, parasite?" she interrupted. "Yes, would it help to talk about it in scientific terms rather than its emotive impact? It's pretty damn hard to separate emotion from the process when a friend had one wrapped around their head. This creature was found in an egg?" "Yes, aboard the derelict they found on LV-426. What appeared to be its hold was full of them. Kane was inspecting one when the top peeled back and this thing launched itself at him." Ripley's story, objectively, was undeniably outrageous, and as she continued her accounts, the probation officer began to make attempts to poke holes in her story in an attempt to ground her back to reality. He had her stop at this moment, Kane's attack, and the facehugger that leapt from the egg and onto the science officer. "But he was wearing a pressure helmet. It broke through the faceplate?" "They bleed molecular acid, so I'm assuming they can spit or secrete it too. It burned away the helmet enough to fasten itself on him." "And you were where when this happened?" "Aboard the Nostromo, monitoring the helmet feeds." "So, assuming you were following normal quarantine procedures, how did the creature get aboard?" "The facehugger on Kane? Ash, the science officer. He opened the airlock. Against my orders. Kane was taken to the med bay. Some hours later, the facehugger dropped off him and died. We thought that was that. Until an alien infant burst out of Kane's chest and escaped into the ship." The technician interjected once more. "And only 24 hours later, this infant had become a full-grown creature, a 7-foot monster preying upon your fellow crew." He couldn't help but laugh lightly at this point. "It seems to have happened at quite the unlikely speed." "Believe me, it happened. thanks to that bastard, Ash. He, of course, did not believe Ripley or her story. He focused adamantly on his dream theory. Your dreams are populated by so many grotesque creatures. You claim Science Officer Ash was a synthetic. I didn't know he was a goddamn android until I saw Parker knock him to pieces with a pipe wrench. Why would the company put a synthetic aboard your ship without telling you? So Ash could bring one of these things home for their bioweapons department. He was programmed to do so, under Special Order 937. She paused, and sighed. Look, I'm never going to change my story, and you're never going to believe me. Can you at least sign me off as fit to work so I can get a job? They're interviewing for power loader training in the cargo bay in 15 minutes, and there's a hungry cat in my apartment. Disbelief in her accounts aside, the probation officer was not an unreasonable person and not unsympathetic to Ripley's situation. He cut the disgraced flight officer a little slack. Very well, Ripley. I'll mark today's psych evaluation up as an improvement on the last one. But we have a long way to go before you come to terms with your delusional state. Ripley got up to leave. You know, I was almost beginning to feel the same way about these memories. She approached the doorway. But then I heard that there are colonists on LV-426. Yes, the moon they call Acheron, he added. Ripley nodded lightly in acknowledgement. Now I know it's only a matter of time before my nightmare becomes theirs. I wish I could say it would be a comfort, but I know that when that happens, the company will have another chance to get what it's after. She opened the door to leave, walking out to the hall, adding, Then it will be everybody's nightmare. She closed the office door. Aliens is an exceptionally written film, with details surrounding the world and characters that James Cameron developed so compelling that, of course, it's still worth talking about and exploring all these years later. One of Cameron's best achievements in telling the story of Aliens as a direct follow-up to the story Ridley Scott told is that it effectively and convincingly portrayed Ripley's decision to join the rescue team and go back to LV-426, where she was certain, more than anyone, that it must have been infested with horrifying alien parasites, while any other reasonable and rational person would stay far, far away for as long as they may live. We as the audience are invested in Ripley's plight and understand, even if it's on a subconscious level, why she would ultimately go back. James Cameron has spoken about many conversations he had with Sigourney Weaver to get this aspect of the story just right, since, in many ways, the entire story does depend on it. He said they agreed that, above all, with many reasons, many things she may want to or need to prove to herself or to others, all career-related reasoning considered, Ripley went back because she never wanted what happened to her to happen to others. This, of course, heightens the emotional impact of Newt's inclusion in the story, who is really the only other person alive in the universe who understands what she went through. And as the story progresses, they are able to survive the nightmare together. Alien River of Pain extends on this theme in some of the additional moments of Ripley's time on Gateway Station, while the Hadley soap infestation was already unfolding. Such scenes wouldn't really be necessary or fit well into the story of Aliens, but that's the beauty of the extended universe material. These details wouldn't necessarily have any use in serving the plot of Aliens, but they work great in the story of River of Pain. It should be noted that the moments involving Ripley's psych evaluations are exclusive to the audio drama version from Audible. As with any adaptation, there are changes, additions, omissions, and the like, and I have to say, I think River of Pain ultimately works better in the form of the audio drama over the novel version, actually. The audio drama version of the story is generally a better extended universe experience, in my opinion. I've heard varying opinions on River of Pain. Some absolutely love it, others aren't so crazy about it, but if I could offer any suggestions or advice or what have you, I'd say, for example, if you read the novel, River of Pain, and you didn't like it, found some issues with it, etc., check out the Audible drama version if you haven't. The story is tightened up, it flows very nicely, and altogether it's a great production. I love the audio dramas they've done so far. They're fantastic, and I really hope for more. Have you read Alien River of Pain, or listened to the audio drama, or both? What's your opinion? Please comment below and let me know what you think. As always, I'd like to thank you very much for watching today. I really appreciate it, and if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a like, and you can also subscribe for all the latest videos from the channel. A very, very special thanks goes out to our WEYLAND YUTANI executives, a much better batch of people than the ICC Board of Inquiry, I can assure you. EmYarUk and Lady Anne, they're part of our Patreon Hive. If you'd like to join the Patreon Hive and support the channel, check out my Patreon page for exclusive posts and contests. In the meantime, you can catch up with Alien Theory over social media. Follow at @alien_theory on Twitter and at @alientheoryyt on Facebook and Instagram for more. And until next time, this is Alien Theory, signing off.